In the journey towards unshakability, we discover a profound truth: no one can defeat us unless we concede that victory. Picture yourself bound, surrounded by challenges and adversities. The strength to withstand any attack comes from our inner firmness, which remains unshaken even amidst the most violent onslaughts. This sense of defeat often arises when we are deprived of opportunities or when someone prevents us from pursuing a path we desire, be it in love or other areas of life. However, the ancient Stoics, wise in their wisdom, taught us that true conquest lies in mastering ourselves. Unshakability isn't about controlling the external world, but rather about mastering our own faculties. They believed external forces only affect us when, by our own choice, we allow them to reach us. Defeat, therefore, is often self-imposed, a result of succumbing to pressures around us. The pursuit of unshakability doesn't demand that we conquer the entire world. It calls us to conquer ourselves, to find an inner peace that remains unchanged regardless of external circumstances. When we learn to stand firm in our truth, we are truly invincible. The real victory lies in resisting the temptation to be defeated, in finding the strength to stay standing, no matter how fierce the opposing winds may be. It is in conquering our own nature that we find enduring and genuine unshakability. In this engaging video, we delve deeply into Stoic wisdom, exploring how we can become truly unshakable in the face of adversities. Stoic philosophy teaches us that it's not the external situations that have the power to affect us, but rather how we choose to evaluate them. In other words, we assign meanings to things around us, and it's this attribution of value that determines how they influence us. Imagine placing your expectations and desires into something, giving it significant value in your life. When we attain this desired thing, we feel incredibly happy and satisfied. But what if, for some reason, we can't achieve what we desire? This is where the true essence of Stoic philosophy comes in. Instead of being swayed by external circumstances and putting our emotional state at their mercy, we can learn to cultivate inner peace and emotional stability. Once again, I invite you to showcase your strength and stay until the end. I promise it will be worth it. Imagine encountering someone who truly captures your attention in the workplace or school. The excitement of finally mustering the courage to approach and ask them out is indescribable. But what if, suddenly, this person cancels the much-anticipated date? The disappointment is immense, and you feel frustrated. Situations like these are common in the world of dating, and people's reactions vary greatly. Some simply move on, while others face rejection with anger or resentment, sometimes even seeking revenge. The truth is, these experiences have incredible power over our emotions and actions. Not just in dating but also in situations of insult. Sometimes, a small insult can generate lingering resentment. It feels like the person who uttered the insult has somehow conquered you, as if they have power over your emotions. However, there are even deeper ways people can influence us, going beyond insults and rejections. A clear example is manipulation through blackmail. Blackmailers often threaten to harm someone's reputation, knowing how much we value our image in front of others. It's a powerful tactic, causing many to succumb to the pressures. These experiences show us how vulnerable we are to external influences. They reveal our need to find ways to strengthen our emotional resilience, so we aren't easily controlled by others' actions and words. It's a constant challenge, but by developing our confidence and self-esteem, we can become more immune to manipulation attempts. Amidst adversities, the Stoics teach us that there's always a choice to be made, even in the direst situations. If we passively accept others' control over us, we allow them to conquer us. However, if we resist, even in the face of the worst torments, no one can defeat us. In the wise words of Epictetus, we find unshakable belief in human capacity to make choices, especially moral choices. Regardless of what we face, we retain the power to decide our actions, to resist the circumstances surrounding us. Epictetus exemplifies this strength by imagining a tyrant threatening him. If the tyrant says, "I will chain you," Epictetus would respond, "He threatens my hands and feet." If the threat is execution, the reply would be, "He puts my neck in danger." Even the threat of imprisonment doesn't shake his determination, "He puts my frail body at risk." And even in the face of the threat of exile, his response remains steadfast. Epictetus reminds us that while others may exert power over our bodies, our minds and our choices remain untouched. Tyrants may confine our legs, but they can't control our decisions. What truly matters are the choices we make, and it's ourselves who hold that power. To cultivate this unshakability, we must be willing to face any difficulty. We must learn to ignore others' judgment, relinquish what we possess, even our most basic needs. We must be prepared to endure confinement, physical suffering, and even the loss of those we love. Any strong attachment, whether it's something we're willing to abandon or something we won't tolerate, has the power to influence our choices. Only when we are truly detached can we achieve true freedom and unshakability. In the journey of unshakability, Viktor Frankl stands out as a beacon of resilience. Amidst the horrors of Nazi concentration camps, he witnessed human depravity, where hunger and torture were currency for survival. But in the face of this brutality, a group stood out, refusing to betray their values for comfort. They chose compassion, despite the circumstances, remaining unbreakable. But what weakens us in the face of adversities? It seems to be the mind, yielding under the weight of hardships. But the wise do not succumb. They face life's burdens with dignity, knowing they were made to carry weights. This is the desired state of the Stoics, a mental fortress that defies the ordinary. Yet, this unshakability isn't easy. The Stoics understood that our emotions often overpower us before we can intervene. They distinguished between passions and emotions, teaching that we can control passions, but most of us, far from wisdom, are sometimes victims of them. Seeking unshakability isn't just a goal but a journey. It requires constant practice and self-reflection. The ancient Stoics inspire us to face this challenge, to seek improvement, even if occasionally our emotions catch us off guard. And so, in the daily struggle to find inner peace, we continue our quest for unshakability, knowing we are imperfect but determined to remain steadfast in the storms of life. Even when we are swept by the tumultuous currents of our passions, there is an intrinsic strength in us, an unshakable ability to make choices. Even when we feel vulnerable, at the mercy of emotions and almost defeated, this ability remains with us, like a dim but unextinguishable light, guiding us. We can say we are like fortresses surrounded by layers of defense, and although external influences might breach some of these barriers, there's a final line that can only be crossed if we allow it. If someone manages to cross that border, they have truly conquered our will. In this context, resistance to the assaults of passions is strengthened by the power of reason and firm control over our actions. We can protect our line of choice, our morality, with the same weapons, but the challenge is greater when the first line of defense is violated. If the enemy takes control of our emotions, they shape our decisions. When desire dominates us, we are likely to yield to it. In anger, we are more likely to act impulsively. Therefore, when the enemy knocks on our door, we need a powerful weapon to preserve our freedom of choice. We can call this weapon resilience, the ability to make right choices even when we are flooded by overwhelming emotions. So, even in the depths of our most intense emotions, the spark of our free will remains. It's a reminder that, despite the storms that may surround us, we always carry with us the power of choice, the ability to decide our own destiny. And thus, as we face life's ups and downs, It's our resilience that keeps us standing, rising against the tides and defending our freedom to choose, even in the most challenging circumstances. In the epic saga of The Lord of the Rings, we see a vivid example of human resistance against the irresistible forces of fate. Frodo, the hero, faces an almost impossible mission: to take a magical ring to the mountain in Mordor to destroy it in the flames. Whoever wears it becomes obsessed, willing to do anything to avoid its separation. Frodo, like Gollum, becomes captive of his precious. Despite the temptations, Frodo carries the ring for miles, overcoming countless challenges. This echoes the Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes that only our ability to choose is truly controllable. Everything else is beyond our influence, subject to the whims of fate. Riches, autonomy, social status, all can vanish. In moments when we can't change a situation, we are challenged to transform, as Viktor Frankl wisely expressed. This journey reveals the strength of the human will, the ability to resist when the world presses upon us. Like Frodo, we face personal battles, moments when our choices shape our destiny. It's in these decisions that we find our purest power. Our ability to resist, to choose, defines us, transforming us into resilient beings in the face of the inevitable. Frodo's journey is a reminder that even in the shadows of uncertainty, the light of our will can shine brightly.